Hello, Snugglebugs. Welcome to today's video. We're going to go after the 26.4.3 patch notes that was released by Blizzard recently. Now, I'm going to be going over this live with you, so my reactions, I'm going to try to read it as quick as possible are real. I haven't read these yet, so let's dig into it. For their update, for their comment, I guess we'll say, the meta is in a pretty healthy place right now, and a lot of players seem to be enjoying the post-mini set meta, which I agree with, honestly. There's diverse decks, as we talked about in some comments recently. So we're not trying to be too disruptive with this round of changes. Sorry. We're making some smaller adjustments to tone down a few emerging meta outliers and to give a little more power to some of the mini set cards that haven't got attention. Obviously, we've seen the teaser, or most of us would have seen the teaser, so more than likely they're mainly focusing on the pure paladin, would be my estimation, just because it's one of the only really top tier decks I would say that came out of this. So, and the picture of the Purator at the top there. So let's see what these changes are. So yeah, it looks like they are changing. Scroll up a little, spoiler. So it looks like they're changing the Purator from a 5 mana to a 6 mana cost card. Pretty good change. I think obviously the draw is just the good part, like the really powerful part about it. So I guess maybe it's just to help in some of those instances where Paladin uses, gets some of their cheaper stuff out and then Purator to refill, and now it's a little later in the game for the draw. Good change. I don't think it's going to be a massive nerf, but good. Next up, we have the Disco Mall. Again, same deck. They're just increasing the mana by 1. I think this is a really good change. Again, maybe won't affect it as much other than getting the initial Mall out to slow down its build of the +1/+1. It might actually reduce the buff on it by 1 or 2 minions. And I think the 3 mana spot in the deck is just a little bit more contested. So I think Disco Mall is definitely the biggest thing that they needed to target here, and I'm glad to see it. Hopefully it doesn't completely kill the card. Doubt it will because it's so powerful. They also did increase its attack, so that might help balance it out. And then they also, the last change for Paladin, or I should say last nerf, I haven't got to the buffs, so it looks like the last one here is that they are changing Feast and Famine as well from a 1 mana to a 2 mana card. Again, they're just trying to slow down some of these things. Pure Paladin, a lot of the tools are meant to be more of a tempo control deck, but with everything having the cost that it did kind of feel a lot more aggressive than maybe they had intended. And actually, there's a comment here. We'll just go over maybe briefly. Oh, another spoiler. Pure Paladin has been a strong deck for a while now, and after the latest patch, they saw it even jump up to a power where it was a dominant outlier in all levels of play. So with that, again, they're just mentioning what they're targeting, some cards they already had their eyes on, and felt that this was the appropriate time to finally act on it. Now, lately, they've been seeing the Horn of the Windlord come into play. So with Horn of the Windlord and the Feast of Famine, that's where this one is specifically coming from. A big change here that I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about is they're reducing the attack of Lady Stheno. Lady Stheno has been a problem, in my opinion, for a long time. I wasn't even playing a Demon Hunter, and recently in a Hunter deck, I got it off of a secret that went off, and it basically won me the game on like turn 3. I drew a banana, and so I do think this one attack will still make it pretty good in combo decks, or if you can find ways to buff its attack to make it worthwhile, it'll still be really strong, but it should make it so it's not, that annoyance auto destroy kind of card that you play. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad it's finally getting changed. I feel it's long overdue. Kind of speaking of Hunter, we have Hope of Calvalas. Sorry if I pronounced that poorly. And they're reducing the attack of it. The main power from this weapon should go really into the minion buffs, the stat buffs. So I think changing this to do a total of 2 less damage likely to face, it does help kind of reduce its power level in the crossway. So Big Hunter has emerged as another power outlier. It's been coming up since the addition of Hollow Hound specifically, and Star Power they call out, although I haven't seen that as much personally. We think the deck is fun and cool, so we do want to continue to see players enjoy it, but we also want it to become too powerful for other adjustments this patch. So this is a preemptive adjustment to basically say, okay, we know Pure Paladin's going to go down. We don't just want Hunter to take its place, and they're going to try to knock this down a notch with this. Okay, and then it looks like we actually have, again, sorry, looking over there to make sure I capture it, Posic Audio Engineer. So they're just making it a 4/4/4 for 4. And it's just to, again, probably reduce the fact that 5/4 is not the best, obviously, anymore with the stats, but because it could potentially also give you 2/3/3s, they're just reducing it to make it feel like it's not overwhelming, I guess. Statistically, Podzik is the highest win rate neutral legendary in the game. So they are trying to, where it was, as we saw more and more decks trying the card, it became clear that it needed a little nudge. And then this doesn't really affect us here because we play standard, generally speaking, but I will call it out that the Crimson Clergy is now banned in Wild. I have seen videos on it that the Crimson Clergy basically just blew up the game. Priest could win super early first few turns with this, go through their entire deck, etc. So, I mean, I'm sure for those who play Wild, this is going to be a big thing for them. And yeah, good job. Now, for buffs, it looks like following cards have been adjusted to become more powerful. So similar to what they usually do with the up mana for the Rhythm Dancer Riza, they just reduced its mana cost, which, to be perfectly honest, I will have to wait and see if this is good enough. I do know that I don't think I have ever actually seen this card played against me, so it could be really good in a really powerful, striking, maybe weapon rogue or demon hunter, but we'll see if this 1 mana is enough. Hopefully it is. It's only rush, it's not charge, so I don't know. It's good to kind of get 1 mana turn board clears or minion clears, but let me know in the comments down below if you think that 1 mana change will be enough. Next buff here, we have the Fiddlefire Imp, and it's just going from a 3/2 to a 3/3. I already kind of liked it, so giving it some extra health just means that maybe it can contest something that was played on turn 2 on the board, etc. Pretty good change. And now they also have the Remix Dispensobot being buffed here from a 4 mana 4/4 to a 3 mana 3/3. So kind of keeping it as is. And text didn't change. They're just making it so basically, again, you weren't really playing a card like this, I don't think, for the 4 attack, 4 health. You were playing it for the effect of the card. So by reducing its cost by 1, they're hoping that, maybe now you'll play it for the 3 mana effect versus the 4 mana effect, and the stats won't matter too much. This one I almost would consider more of just a flat out change, I guess, than a buff, but overall good. And there are Battlegrounds updates that if you're interested, again, sorry, I know I personally like Battlegrounds, and if you want to see me cover them in future patch notes, let me know in the comments down below. But I do know that it's not generally what we play here on the channel, so I'll let you maybe go to other creators for that review. If you enjoy this, like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps us out. And see you in the next one.